Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Canadian Grand Prix for ASR Season 3. This is of course round 7. Potentially a 5th victory in a row here if we can get the 25 points. Pole position number 5, having missed out only on Russia and Monaco. Stewart lines up alongside me with Pure in 3rd and my teammate Crook in 4th. KM's already had some issues there connection wise, unfortunately for the second McLaren, but I think we've made the great launch that we require.
Okay, the safety car is out. The safety car is out.
But it didn't last because a safety car was soon deployed, and on the restart,
A few teams seem to be putting intermediates on now. Come in and switch over if you need to.
this race has been turned on its head. The rain is starting to come down. We're all on slicks, but now cars are starting to come in the very next lap.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled.
And I think they made the right choice. Actually, some of the backmarkers did make the gamble under the safety car, already on inters, and they're going to have a massive lead. As, oh dear, there was a Ferrari pointing the wrong direction there. Thankfully, the ghosting mechanism saved our bacon. Oh, we went a lot later under the brakes there than the Mercedes. Thankfully, avoided the rear of him. Everyone's struggling to get acclimatised to these new conditions, which we weren't expecting this early in the race. Strategy-wise, I've made a bit of a blunder there. Oops, Red Bull just, oh, no, it's lag. That was unfortunate.
Green flag.
I actually got a penalty for that until it was appealed. I didn't realise I even had an investigation against me until it was posted that I had a penalty. It's another of ASR's fails. Obviously that was cleared due to lag, and we moved on with the race. Tried to pass Stewart a couple of times, finally managed it into the chicane. It looked like we had a bit more straight line speed, but it was very risky to make that move on the outside, for example. And Pure has just clobbered the wall. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage. And we should get a great exit here. He was offline, and we're going to have the preferred line into the next set of corners, the first of which is to the right. And job done. Some cars peeling off into the pits, obviously believing they can't get the inters to the end, hitting a second set of the green striped compound. That would continue, that trend. Crook in. These guys obviously pitted before me under the safety car conditions and also the lap before. I took mine a bit further, hoping to overcut,
Go now.
just using the pace and not having to overtake them on track. It worked for some people. We moved up to second at this point. That was actually Pure, who went a lot longer, perhaps hoping to gamble either a weather change before his tyres punctured or that he might be able to make it. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't, and we were presented with Stewart as the race leader, who hadn't pitted to take a second set of the inters. And oh, there's just enough space there. Good driving. Have a bit of a look here. I just about back out in time to not cause a collision that could have taken both of us out. But the switchback works perfectly, just like I did on Pure Gold earlier in the race. And we're going to be through. Pure Axel has a lot of pace though. He's fought us since in the wet. Very strong driver. And he followed us through and would not let go. As you can see as I look back, he's holding on like he's got a lasso attached to our rear wing. Even with the fastest lap, he didn't drop too far back. He is the next car on the map, that dot there, coming through the final chicane. And I know I don't have a penalty, so this is pretty much victory achieved. Across the line we come. Turns out he had one penalty, I think. A double podium once again for Toro Rosso. I've been Calm Sea Goat Joker. See you in Baku.